Welcome to Make It Your Business, the podcast. Get the advice you need to grow your business by getting guidance from industry experts and interviews with successful small business owners. Don't forget to rate, review, and subscribe.
Thank you for popping in.
No problem.
Maybe your business. So this is Paul Emerton, Concept TV Studios. As you know, the podcast is about helping businesses, small businesses. So not inspirational £100 million exits or anything like that. So there's two things I really wanted to talk to you about today. One was a bit about your experience as a business person. And the second was to try and scratch your brain a bit about video.
Okay.
Small business owners are obviously looking at the next steps. Now, obviously, we're both business owners. I'm in marketing. You're in the world of video. So obviously, you're going to be biased. I appreciate that. But we are both aware that video is possibly one of the most important mediums.
It's so important. And in terms of if you just go and do a search, even in your own business area, just have a look at how many competitors are out there using video, your competitors, because literally almost everybody is doing it. If you're not, you're behind the curve.
Absolutely. So let's rewind. Let's just, can we know a little bit about yourself? Because you've been in business for 15 years?
18 years.
18.
Yeah.
People think that.
Yeah.
So,
company can illegally drink and been in business for a long time.
yeah, well, look, longevity, we all know that most new businesses found in the first 3 years.
Yes.
So whether somebody who's tuning in today is new to business, trying to make it happen, or they're dealing with the changes post-COVID, potentially recessions coming in, it's September 2022.
Yes.
Looking for advice. So, I know it's off the cuff, I'm prepared, but, let's have Paul's little, advice nudge. Any snippets you can share?
Okay, I mean, the first thing is there's always an excuse. No matter what you look at, whether it be you win or you fail, there's always an excuse. And the truth is, you just, people look for reasons behind things. When you're in that first year in particular, the reason the businesses fail is not because maybe you have the worst idea, but because maybe you try to do too much of it yourself, or you go in with this small business mentality, which is, you take on your idea, as I say, you try and do the other things, and then also you come up with an idea of how you do your marketing, but then you don't follow through. Maybe it's the fear of picking up the phone or sending that first email.
Yes, yeah. We've had discussions about this in the past, haven't we? Where resilience and persistence and getting things done is super, super important. But something interesting you put on there was that whole multiple hats. It's very much a small business owner, isn't it?
Yes.
As in, I do everything. I do this, I deliver the good.
I'm still guilty of it now. When I'm sitting here and we'll approach something and you think, well, actually, before I go in deep and invest money into something, I will try it out myself. And of course, that you're setting yourself up to fail with that, because there are people who have had experience and knowledge of over many, many years doing that microcosm of work that you're trying to take on. And in some ways, it can then distract you from what you're supposed to be doing. But I'm guilty of it even.
Yeah, so no, I am. I mean, we actually got an episode that we're going to put out about outsourcing, because I think fundamentally your bricks and mortar business people potentially don't understand these services out there, like your Fivers, where you can, essentially put a job out and people bid on it, or you can buy a service and somebody does that work for you for a set price.
Yes, yeah. I mean, undoubtedly, there are some things that, you might want to do yourself, and it makes sense to do that. Maybe you're very, very much in touch with your products, but really you need to try and work out how you can get other people to do work. And things like Fiverr, as you say, that they're a great space, because you've got people that, whereas it will take you 5 hours, it will take them 10 seconds.
Have you got any internal pool tips for that? Like when you're looking at your tasks, you go, I've got to do that, I have to do that. Is there anything you use to go, my time would be better spent doing this and outsource? Or is it just...
Yeah, so I listen. First of all, I will speak to as many people as I can, right? Everyone will try and offer you advice when you're first starting out. And some people who offer you advice have never been in business in their lives. So, you've got to put a degree of filter on that.
Yes, yeah.
But on the flip side, there are people that, that are experts in their field, and they might just come in and actually you've got to really listen, because you might be doing something and they'll just say a couple of words. And if it's an area that that's in their specialism, those words are so important. It's a massive direction. And they're probably quite used to people maybe just not quite listening to what they're saying. So they're not going to try and hard sell you.
Yeah. What's interesting with the small business side, I certainly know my experience is it can be quite lonely. And I would say this many years in now, my advice to people would be just ask someone, because I'm forever answering the calls and emails, and I really do not mind. I sincerely don't mind helping anyone. Yeah. In fact, I kind of thrive on it, as I'm sure you do sometimes.
Yes.
In your own field, when somebody asks something of you, you're like, I'd love to help.
Well, I mean, actually, just the other day, I was sort of having a chat with someone who was starting their own business, and they were going into it on a self-employed, but sole trader basis. And actually, when I kind of, having been in business for 18 years, you learn the things that you need to do to, one, protect yourself, but also give you the chance to be entrepreneurial, but without, risking your house.
So on that particular, it was, research limited liability company structure, was it?
That's it. I just explained to them, take a look at this, speak to an accountant, because there's things that you're doing that will, the things that you'll need to buy that actually, legitimately you should be saving money on.
Yes, yeah.
And protecting yourself and those sorts of things. So yeah, early, and actually it's really nice when you can give a bit of advice to someone and then you see them actually being in a better position later on because of that.
Fantastic. No, great advice, dude. So let's try and scratch that big brain of yours, because if I was listening to this podcast or watching this video, I would want to know, okay, this video, Lark, I see them everywhere. They're popping up on my phones. Why is video so powerful, and why should small businesses start to use it?
Just think about when even just social media, you're scrolling through things. And let's say, you look at Facebook, for instance, you're scrolling through Facebook. The things that you tend to stop on are when things really distract your eye. They take your attention. So video immediately does that. It starts playing. Now, with or without sound, you are going to pause slightly longer on that and start taking in the visuals. Now, they say picture speaks 1,000 words. Well, there's 25 pictures a second in video. Okay, so that's the
technical.
The technical, yeah. But the key thing there is that people will then watch and they start thinking about what they see. Compare that to text.
Mm-hmm.
Right? If you come in, it might be a question that's being asked in someone's social media post, or they're making an assertion of something. You'll scan it and immediately, you might discount that text.
Yeah.
But you'll very quickly veto it.
Again, times of the day, it may just be me, but certainly when I'm more tired after a day's work, I'm not necessarily invested in reading paragraphs of blogs.
Precisely right.
Yeah.
And as a business person, particularly as if you're starting your own business or as a small business owner, your time is at a premium. And actually, when you do get into that switch off time, let's be honest, we never really do switch off. You're always thinking. And when you have those, if you've got stuff to read, that requires you being quite proactive and making a decision. I'm going to read this because there's value. But when you're watching a video, you just switch off a little bit and then you allow them to do the storytelling.
So the medium of video as a messaging is much more relaxed.
It's easier for the recipient.
Okay.
And for you as the person that you're trying to tell them a story, with video also, it helps you think a little bit more. If you're making a video, a little bit more about what the content is and the order in which you're delivering that content.
Okay, so a bit more structured. So I've got a business. It's going okay, but I'm aware of this internet thing. Okay, I've listened to this. I need to do video. Paul says video is important. Brilliant. What type? It's really hard to sort of understand what that means. It's just like, go do video. What are the first 2 or 3 types of videos I should look?
So, the first thing with video is, what do you want to tell people? What do you want them to see? It's not just tell, but see. What do you want them to know about your business or what you do? Is it the product? Is it the manufacturing or the making?
Okay, well, let me put that back on you. So sorry, again, I'm putting myself in the shoes of I don't care. I just want to sell more, flowers. I'm a florist. I just want more people to come to my shop. I just want more people to call me as a plumber.
Yeah.
So ultimately, I want more sales because that's what small businesses want.
Absolutely.
So where would they get most bang for their buck, first of all?
So it's a trust thing. So if you imagine when you're choosing something to buy, when you're looking to get perhaps someone in to do some work in your house or something like any of these scenarios, you buy the person.
Absolutely.
Right. First of all, you can see, let's say you were buying in a plastered wall, you wanted a wall plaster or something like that. You can see flat walls day in, day out. That's absolutely fine, and you'd expect to see it, but you wouldn't know that the person coming to do the job is going to be able to do it in a good way, or what they're, are they going to give you a bumpy surface?
I suppose relating that back to, like, if I call, going back 15 years, you call a plumber or a plasterer.
Yes, yeah.
And if they didn't sound right on the phone, or disinterested, or you saying that's the same thing. Like the video allows you to.
It pushes across that trust. So first of all, when you see them on there, they'll be demonstrating their craft, whatever it is, and what they're actually doing when they create, let's say, how-to videos. Mm-hmm. Although the video itself, the subject is how to plaster your own wall.
Yeah.
What they're actually doing is giving you the confidence that they can do the plastering for you. So you look at it and you think, wow, that's amazing. I can't do that, but I'm going to give
right. So as a small business owner, we need to potentially flip our mindset, because I can imagine some people on here would go, I don't want to show people how to plaster a wall because that's what I do. That's where I earn my money. Absolutely. But what you're saying is, do show them.
Yeah.
Because actually they won't master the skill, but by showing them, you're breeding trust in them, the brand, the competence.
Look, the people that are not going to ring up and buy and are going to try it themselves, we're never going to buy from you anyway.
Yes.
Right? Yeah. That's their mentality. But the people that look, how do I do this? Just out of intrigue, there is going to be a number of those people that are then going to come to you, and the trust is going to be bigger, and then it's easy to convert the onward word of mouth, because they can say, hey, look at this video, look at the quality. It's
shareable content. I'm just thinking about the times I've looked things up and gone, that looks complex. Let me just get them in.
Absolutely right. Yeah. I mean, I give you the example in case that, in terms of plastering. In video, it can be, similar sort of stuff, but there's some things you can take on yourself, and then some things, particularly if you are showing your trade within video, people, you're producing sort of that trust element that other people then can look at and think, yeah, I want to get this person on to do my job.
Yeah, that sounds fantastic. Again, obviously, we've got a scale for business owners. So obviously at the top end, they can obviously hire, they've got a turnover of customers already, and they're looking to maximize that. They can come to an agency like yourselves.
Absolutely.
Who'll produce the videos and script, etc. If they wanted to start, do they need any special equipment?
So actually, depending on where you are in your business journey, the first thing you've got to remember is, what is this going to look like to the people watching the video? So if you've spent a small fortune on branding and getting the look and feel of your business and your website to a certain level, your video does have to sort of match that. You do want to come in, you don't want to just necessarily shoot it on a phone. But then again, if you are a small business and you haven't sort of crossed that line, or you're very much a person-to-person type business, then you can look at those options.
Because, our audience is, from zero, wanted to start up to maybe like £3-4 million a year turnover.
Yes.
Proper UK small businesses. So we have got the scale where it point and shoot, have a go. But what you're saying is, when you get to a certain stage, a bit like you said earlier about outsourcing,
yes,
there comes a point where you say, to spend £1,000 to £3,000 a year on video, your return will far outweigh the cost.
Just think about it from, you've got kit purchase. So, if you try to shoot on the phone, you're going to get a certain quality. If you can buy kit, you're going to spend X amount of money, but also think how much money you're not making by actually doing that yourself.
The time element.
For me as a studio, one of the things that we did is not only do we serve the higher end multi-million pound businesses, but then it's very easy for us to turn out a video that, you know, within a few minutes, that it would take you a day or two to make, and you still wouldn't be happy with it, and you'll still tweet.
I've seen some of you go like that. The editing takes hours and all the computers and there's a complex process.
You can put in a lot of effort into doing that. Whereas what we will do as, let's say, an outsourced business in this example, is that we would shoot 20 videos in one go, and then we would block edit it, and then we would provide that content over a period of time.
That's super interesting. Look, we could talk about video for hours. So if somebody's interested, and they should be, video is huge. Where can they find out more information, get some more advice from you?
So conceptmedia.group, that's my website address.
Perfect.
And it covers all manner of things from live streaming, video production, and the monthly subscription-based production, which is
information, tips, tricks, services, a whole base. What was it again, sorry?
Conceptmedia.group.
Group. Hello.
Just type that in and I'll be all.
No, thanks for coming in. Really appreciate it.
Thanks for having me.
Bye for now.
Bye.